Jacksonville. Welcome back. We are JFL Live in the house once again. Tony G is here, baby. Duval's finest. And of course, I got Mr. Johnny Jaguar. What's up, baby boy?
What's up? You know it is John Fichter, aka Giant Jaguar, aka the ultimate fan here. At a trade, so trying to make money because it's hard out here. McDonald's wasn't trying to hire me, so I had to try something else. Hey, we ain't balling like y'all three. Someone's got to work for a living. But I want to introduce my partner down below. You know who he is, Mr. Top 10 of all time, Mr. Big John Henderson.
Oh, what's up, baby? It's your boy, Big John. Welcome to JFL Live. We got my boy Tony in the building. And they 3-0. And they 3-0. Talk to them. 35 on the chart, baby. They coming. They coming,
yes, sir.
baby.
Yes, sir.
What's up,
yes,
man?
sir.
What's up, Tony?
Not much, man. Not much. How y'all doing today, man?
Man, we are good, man. We are good, man. And y'all are 3-0.
Mm.
I got something. How y'all handling the COVID down there? Because you see the NFL, you see the Titans, you see Cam. How y'all dealing with this?
It's been pretty crazy, man. But it's actually been working for us, man. We're down here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So we were worried during the summer. Tourist destination. A lot of people coming from different places, bringing it down. So initially we thought it was going to be a big problem, but I guess being about 15, 20 minutes from the beach, we were kind of able to miss it, man. So we test once a week, 40 hours before the game, or 72 hours for the game, excuse me. So we get tested. We had a few tests early on in the summertime before the season started, man. But I think since the season started, we may have had like 1 or 2 positive cases. Our kids have been doing a good job staying in the house, staying focused, staying in the bubble, not going out on weekends. And I think it's been perfect, man.
So now the NFL is charging them coaches on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
The SEC, is they finding y'all for not having masks on?
Man, nah, man. The Sun Belt, they're not finding us, man. But you'll never catch me with mine off.
Hey,
I stay strapped, man. I stay strapped. I ain't taking that hit, man. So
hey, man, it's too real, man. It is too real right now, man.
Yeah, man.
And you know it's real. You know it's real when the NFL gets hit. When a team gets hit to the point where they got to cancel games, it gets real. It open up everybody's eyes that it's not over.
And man. And they getting fined $100,000. So the organization get 100, and the coaches get fined. So go ahead.
So what's testing like, Tony? Like, what do? Do they put, like, I heard they put something in people's noses and craziness like that? Is that how they do it?
Yeah, so we contracted out a company. I think they're out of like Raleigh, North Carolina. I know a lot of people are going to them, but basically they ride down. They bring the swab and everything. We go in. They bring like 3 or 4 people, and it's basically just, one after another. Everybody goes in there, gets the cotton swab up the nose, both nostrils. They say you're done. They take it out. They take it back to Raleigh, test it, and like I said, man, it's in and out process. We probably get 150, 200 people done in like an hour or so.
Yeah. Well, man, y'all going through something else too, bro. Y'all got storm after storm, don't you? What we seeing is curving right into where y'all at, man.
Yeah, we've been fortunate, man. We had one hurricane that came right over Myrtle Beach, but it was kind of dead by the time it got here. It was more a tropical storm.
Yeah.
Now Delta, I don't think Delta's gonna make it here. We'll probably get a lot of rain and wind. We won't really feel the hurricane, but we've been fortunate, man. I had my hurricane. So we've been fortunate, man. Everything's been good.
That's good, man. That's good. Tony, what's Tony Corner talking about, man? Talk to me, Tony.
Hey, listen. Tony Corners this week, man. I want everybody to explain to me, man, what are we going to do about college? I mean, you got college kids bucking for the pros. You got COVID going on. Nobody can get in the spotlight like they used to. I mean, what do you do, Big John? I mean, if you're a parent of a kid trying to go to trying to go to the pros or trying to go to college, it's different. This whole 2020 is different. What do you do?
Well, I know what this parent gonna do. But everybody different, man. I mean, I'm watching the game now, and I see the stadium is 10 times packed than the NFL stadium. And they are and they college kids. They the band and everything. I don't know, bro. I'm praying for them. That's all I can do, and hoping they all doing the right thing. You know what I mean? So
Tony, what are you guys doing about recruiting, man? How do you recruit right now? Some high schools aren't even playing.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, man. You know, we went through this whole deal about March. We hit the dead period, so usually about March, you're getting ready to go out, high schools, travel around, see kids practice and all that stuff, man. But you know, when the dead period came, they stretched it. So we've had a dead period since March all the way to January 1st. So you can't go see kids play, you can't go to high schools, they can't come to practice, they can't do anything. So really the kids who had good junior years and had kind of picked up offers, you know, they were okay, but then it became this race. Everybody realized there weren't going to be visits. There became this race to commit. And so like this year, you probably had 800 commitments in the country by like May, June, when usually like 200 or 300. So, you know, we had basically our whole class done in July. And, you know,
wow.
Usually we're still recruiting heavy into
right. Exactly, yeah.
Everything got pushed up, man. And so it's been crazy for these kids, man. I really feel bad for the ones who were needing that senior year to kind of show what they got. Because, like, of course, here in South Carolina, high schools are playing, Georgia, they're playing, parts of Florida, they're playing, Alabama, they're playing. But anything north of that, man, they're not playing.
So are you guys going through game tape, or are you just going to go to the Florida, the Georgia, the Carolinas, and take those kids since they're playing?
Yeah, you kind of have to recruit the kids who are playing right now, and kind of reevaluate those kids, see what they're doing, and then you just got to kind of see how they stack up to these, you know, the North Carolinas and all the states north, Virginias and so on. You have to see kind of how they stack up to those kids. And the worst part about it is if you're a 2021 kid in North Carolina or Virginia, you're not playing until after signing day. So senior year doesn't help you. And so really, you know, those kids are going to be shot. And I think it's going to be a lot of really good kids playing FCS ball. I think it's going to be a lot of really good kids that's going to walk on to certain places. And these kids are going to come out of nowhere, man, just because they didn't have a chance to put on that film. Because, man, you know, how much better can a kid get from the time he's 16 to 17 or 17 to 18? It's a big gap, man.
Big gap.
Yeah.
Man,
and I feel bad because, you know, I've seen some of the kids that, like you say, up north, that they, you know, last year, parents were like, don't worry about it. We'll get you video for your senior year and we'll have a great showing and great video. And now they're like, oh my God, I don't have any good videos and my kid is a senior.
Yeah.
And I mean, that goes from football, basketball, baseball, young ladies playing softball. I mean, all of that. And so, you know, I mean, at what point, man, we got to figure out how we how do we get these guys a showing? Like you said, there's going to be a lot of walk-ons. There's going to be a traumatic walk-on next year for the NFL and the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's going to be missed in all the drafts and going to come out and just be this superstar. We know it's going to happen. It happened before we had COVID. But, you know, Florida, you know, fortunately, or, you know, Florida schools are playing. So a lot of these kids are getting the good showings all across the nation.
Mm-hmm.
But the states that are not playing, man, we're missing out on a lot of good kids.
I feel, hey, what if they did something like this, Tony? If I'm coming out of high school, we're not playing. And I was like, okay, I got this whole year. If I do D-line drills, do one-on-ones, you know, and it's just me and somebody else, and you know, we protected, we went through the COVID thing, all that. Mm-hmm. And I did that for, you know, just showing the college coaches what I'm doing each month, and they can evaluate my technique, my moves, my this. But this is the tape you send in to y'all, so y'all can see the ones that are not playing. It's got to be something for them. That just seems so crazy that they're not getting recruited, man.
And that's like you kind of hit the nail on the head, man. That's really what it's been. Like, you know, I can't tell you how many pictures I got in my recruiting phone right now of like kids who, you know, I hadn't seen them. I don't know how tall you are. Hey, staying in the doorway, you know,
Dang.
So I can see how big you are. And hey, I don't know how fast you are. Go run a 40. You know, and it's they're sending drills every week. They're doing what they're supposed to be.
All right, what's up, everybody? We are back.
You know, it's nothing like
again.
that watching the kid play, watching the kid compete. Because everybody knows, especially in the NFL, there are certain guys that are superheroes in shorts, but then when it's time to put the pads on, you know, it's a different game. And so I think that's been the hardest part, man, is the kids who are right here. Like, hey, if I could just see him run routes and catch the ball, he'd be an offer. Or if I could verify that he's 4'5", 4'6", he'd be an offer. And now you don't get a chance to do that. And so now you're kind of stuck in limbo with that kid. And like you said, it's going to be a kid that I probably said no to that's going to turn around and be beating my butt, you know, for the next 3 or 4 years.
Because you didn't get,
Because I didn't get an eval on them, you know? And that's the part, man. It's like blind dating right now. You got to kind of, you seeing everything, but you don't get nothing to do but talk to the kid. You don't see him. You don't watch him practice. You don't really get face to face, you know, because sometimes people can play a good game and put on a poker face, but then when you're around them on a visit and you kind of get that vibe, and you don't get that chance. And that's for them too. They don't get a vibe.
Don't worry about.
So you're talking about this improvement, you know, playing. When did John? This goes for you and Tony. When did you guys improve the most? Was it in high school, from junior to senior? Was it in college, or is it when you guys played for the Jaguars? Like, when did you guys improve the most from one year to another?
I mean, I guess I can start. For me, I didn't feel like I caught my stride. Crazy thing to me, I don't feel like I caught my stride until like my senior year of college. I don't feel like I really peaked. I don't really feel like I started peaking as a player until like my senior year of college, because my whole life I grew up playing basketball. You know, being from North Carolina, it was all basketball. You know, I did all that stuff. And so, you know, I didn't touch a football. I touched football. The first time I touched football was August 1st when we started camp. The last time I touched the football was at the end of the season. And I didn't touch it any time in between because I was hooping 20. And so,
wow.
Yeah, so I didn't have a single offer at the end of my junior year of high school. And then I didn't pick up my first offer from I think was from Western Carolina. I think before my first game my senior year. That's the first offer I had ever got. And I ended up picking about 10 or 15 offers up during my senior year. But, you know, if I had been a senior in COVID, you know, I'd have never even had a chance to go to the NFL because I had no offers coming out my junior year. And so, you know, you think about, my whole life could be different. You know, if I had a COVID senior, I wouldn't be on this call with you guys right now.
Right.
You know, that's the opportunity is being taken away from these kids. Is somebody right now sitting at home who doesn't have an offer, who is an NFL player, who's not going to get a shot. There's another Tony Washington somewhere who hadn't peaked yet, who just needs that 1AA, that D2, that D3 to believe in him, take that shot, and then give him time to develop in college, and then he'll be an NFL player. He won't get that shot now. It's kind of crazy.
Man, when I'm hearing you too, it's got to be a way. Look, I hope they hear me. Make tape of yourself. Record. Do something each month. Send it to the coach. Man, don't stop. You can't. It's like you can't. I know they don't. You know, the people being safe, but you don't have to stop. It's too much you can do. There's too much social media out there. You can post your stuff. They seeing it. You know, I'm watching the little short guy, the little young guy, and he got over 2 million followers. And he's doing drills. Think about it. He got 2 million followers. He's doing drills. So you got to do something. I hope they hear me, because that's something you can do. Yeah. I mean, you got to do something, man. You sitting down ain't go. You
can't sit on it no more.
No,
you really can't sit on it. And if you're a parent and you don't know what to do, because I just had somebody text me, and she said she has a son that is a junior this year. She's a single parent. She don't know anything about doing any of that, filming and all that stuff. And I'll tell you the same thing I tell all of them. If you don't know, send an email to JFL Live. We'll help you figure it out. Because let me tell you something. This is bad for the kids. And I'm gonna tell you what else happens that people haven't paid attention to. So you have a lot of states that's not playing high school ball. Guess what? the kids that are playing high school ball, you got a kid that was ranked 99 that is now ranked 36 because the changes. They're the only ones playing. And that's a big impact. You taking a kid, I mean, you go look at the leaderboard right now. Look at the leaderboard from last November to right now, who's on the top 100, and look how that has changed. And that's huge for the kids, and I just truly believe, I'm like you, Big Hen, there's gonna have to be an answer, and it's gonna be, I tell you what's gonna happen. Tony and his crew, they're gonna have to hire more recruiters to watch all that film.
Well, I think now you have to be self-motivated. You have to take responsibility. Before you didn't have to. You'd have Tony watching you. I don't have to do nothing no more because I know Tony's watching me. But now I have to take it into my own hands. If I want to go to his school, I'm gonna have to do the time. I'm gonna have to put the videos in, and I'm gonna have to send them out to him to hope I get the job now. I mean, it's basically like trying to get a job interview.
And that's what I try to tell kids, especially kids who want that shot, man. Is it's so much different than when we were coming out as players, man. Because you think about, we were coming out as players, and you guys are probably even older than me, so y'all were sending VHSs and everything to schools. Y'all gotta send it in the mail.
Oh my God.
Y'all remember the process, man. You play on Friday night, you get up early Saturday morning, you trying to get your VHS right, then you gotta mail it to coach, get attention so-and-so. Then you sit at home and you wait 3 or 4 days.
Right. You're right, bro.
And then it's in a big mail bin. He got to find it. Man, it's 2 weeks before he sees the film. You know, these kids have an unprecedented ability we didn't have. They can go on Twitter right now, follow Coach Washington, send me a DM, right?
Yeah.
And it's instant communication between us. And maybe I don't always see it, but what I tell guys all the time is, if I get a message from you 1,000 times over the year, chances are one of them I'm gonna finally open up and say, like, man, this kid done text me every Wednesday, 365 days. Like, let me see what he's talking about.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's something that we didn't have as players. You know, I remember making the DVDs, sending them off, and like hoping when they made it there, first of all, without breaking, and then hoping you're gonna watch it. And so, but these kids, man, they throw it on Huddle. You know, they play Friday night. The high school coach puts it on Huddle Saturday morning. They got the highlight film from the game Saturday afternoon, sending the link. You know what I'm saying? And I'm, you know, it's everything's faster. Everything happens faster. Everything's done better. For kids nowadays, I tell them, you don't have an excuse not to market yourself because you got accessibility.
Yeah. Do you think this is a new way of how college recruitment's going to be? Is having to do the self-responsibility to send it out to you guys? I mean, how many guys you look at one time? You know, I mean, it has to be crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like Tony said, you know, you have people who are doing the brunt work as far as just watching kid after kid after kid. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I've watched every receiver in South Carolina, Georgia. That honestly would be a lie. But you know, as it goes through the ladder, you know, our recruiting guy watches it. He sends it to, you know, the player personnel guy, and he's like, oh yeah, this kid can play. He sends it to me, you know. But at the same time, like I said, I'm on Twitter 24/7 because that's pretty much in the job description of college football at this point, is following these kids, checking them out. And you know, there's kids that I've watched that I have no idea who they are, but I'm bored one day sitting on the couch, hop in my DM, say, oh, I don't know who this kid is, click on it, and they're actually pretty good, you know? And you find kids randomly, but if you're not putting in that work to send it out, you know, to different schools, you got to be realistic too. Like, hey, you got to know where you're at. Like, if I don't have any offers and I'm only sending my film to Tennessee, Auburn, and Georgia, all right, you set yourself up for failure. Like, you can't be like, if your dream is to play college football, your dream is to play college football. Don't put a limit on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, for me, coming out, being I'm from High Point, North Carolina, 15 minutes from Wake Forest. You know, 2008, 2009, when I was junior, senior in high school, they were winning the ACC. That's when they had Riley Skin at quarterback and all that stuff, and they were good. And so I was like, man, I want nothing more in life than to play for Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Like that's where my mind was at that time. But I had to realize, hey, at this point, I'm not. They don't want me. Go where you want it. Go where you see you play where they're showing interest, and for me, that was Appalachian State.
How hard was that for you to make that transition of that's not what you really wanted, and you kind of had to take a sidestep to get to where you really wanted, which is the NBA or the NFL?
It was hard, man, because Wake Forest was recruiting me at the time. Like, you know, they recruited me my whole senior year and was like telling me like, hey, we're gonna offer you. You know how schools do. They keep, you know, keeping that little bit of bait out there, keep me interested. And so I was playing the waiting game. You know, all these schools were coming in FCS wise, one offer. And I was waiting on wait. And then, you know, the phone kind of went dead for a few months. So that, you know, it was hard, man, because you want to say like, man, I'm good enough. Like I knew at that time that I was good enough to play Power 5 football. I knew I was going to play in the ACC. Like to me, I knew it. But I had to realize like, hey, my dream, like you said, is makes NFL. Anybody, you can make it from anywhere. You know, that's the one thing that people say, like NFL, they do a great job, you know, recruiting players. You can make it from D2, D3, you can play. So,
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, so I eventually did get offered by Wake Forest, like literally the weekend before signing day. But at that point, it was like, man, you know, I'm just gonna go to App, man, where I want it. You know, Wake wanted me to play DB. I thought I was a receiver. You know, just didn't match up right, and so I just went on to App State, play receiver, and I feel like I turned out and made the right decision.
Oh yeah.
So how often does that happen? You know what? I asked everybody this, and that's a funny thing you just said. How often does it happen that the school you want to go to, I talked to a couple of players a couple of weeks ago, and this happened. I knew I was a corner, but if I wanted to go to this school, they wanted me to be a receiver. And so then where do you make the line at?
Man, hey Tony, I feel it because I was a DN.
Yeah.
I came at DN, and he's like, John, just gonna put you down there to D tackle. I'm like, I'm 6'7", man.
Yeah.
Put me down to D tackle.
Yeah.
Oh man, all I could think about T was my legs.
Yeah.
My legs. Oh my God. And that was a big transition, man. You talking about having to stay that low to I thought I wasn't gonna do it, but yeah, I made it through. It turned out all right then.
Yeah, you gotta learn. I mean, I think the biggest thing is you have to realize you gotta take good advice for one. Because I credit my high school coach because he the one that, you know, kind of moved me to receiver because, you know, my freshman sophomore year, the school I played at, we ran triple option offense. So, you know, running the ball, all that. My junior, senior year, coach comes, he brings the spread with him. And so, like, my freshman, sophomore year, everybody's telling me, yo, you a DB. I mean, everybody's a DB in triple option offense. You know, if you ain't playing running back, you know, you're not a player. But when we moved that spread and I started getting the ball, you know, my high school coach told me, he said, man, you can play DB. You can go to the ACC and play DB. He said, I promise you. He said, if you play receiver, you'll go to the NFL.
Wow.
Wow.
And I, you know, at the time I was like, yeah, NFL, okay, maybe. I can barely get into App State, you know what I'm saying? But I trusted him, man, and I knew that my heart was in offense, and things worked out.
Oh yeah.
So what's it feel like about to go ahead and coach against your alma mater? What's that like? And do you have a bet with McCray, by the way, too, on who's gonna win?
Nah, I don't have no bet with McCray. I was actually, man, I was gonna try to come down to Jacksonville next week because we were supposed to play Louisiana today and have a bye week. So I was gonna come down to Jacksonville and hang out with McCray and Denard and a couple of the guys down there next weekend. But that got changed because of the game, so it won't be down. But I hadn't bet with them, man. But I'm excited to play my old team. They're coming down to the beach. Know a lot of coaches up there. Know a lot of people up there. So it's always a little personal, you know. But always had love for Appalachian State, man. Every day except when we playing them, man. So my plan is to go ahead and go down there and give them a little bit of a licking and hopefully play great against them.
Hey man, y'all are kicking this year. And I tell you, so as we talk about the recruiting, now you guys are kicking. I mean, you guys are pumping on all cylinders. I mean, everything about you guys look like you guys are together.
Mhm.
And what happened? I just gotta ask, what happened? I mean, this year you guys look like y'all been playing together for 10 years.
I think the biggest thing, man, is our head coach, Coach Chadwell, and the offensive coordinators, man. They've really kind of made the offense really good. Like, I mean, we're averaging, we're spread option team, 45 points a game right now, and so I think they're doing a real good job calling plays and doing that sort of thing. And I think right now, man, with our offense, you got to guard triple option run game. Then you have to guard spread pass game. And usually you're not having to do that as a defense. You got to be ready for triple option. You got to be ready for speed option. You got to be ready for outside zone. You got to be ready for inside zone. You got to be ready for all that stuff in the game. Now you got your linebackers, you got your D linemen all fit in this run game. And now you're leaving those DBs on the island. Then we turn around. Now we're throwing play action over your head. And I think right now it's just hard for other defenses to kind of key in what we're doing because we just have a lot going on and we're executing at a high level right now.
How you keeping your receivers calm and out of the starlight and out of the club? Them boys are balling. So when you balling, everybody want to hang out with you. Them boys balling. Now, how you keeping them under control and say, you guys got to stay home and look, COVID going on, don't y'all get crazy? Because y'all receivers are balling. And we know what happens when that happens.
Yeah. And I wish I could take credit for it to say it's me doing something for them, but I think they've done a great job truly buying into what they want to achieve, man. Like this is probably, I've been coaching and playing. There's not too many times you get a receiver room, where it's generally known as me guy, I want the ball. Right now I probably have one of the most selfless rooms that I've ever been a part of as a player or a coach. Where these guys, I rotate we had 80 snaps, and the highest receiver got I think 49 snaps, and so they're playing half the game and they're okay with rotating. They don't care who's scoring the touchdowns, who's getting the shine, and then on top of that, they're going in there and digging out them safeties, man. Anytime you got receivers going in there and digging out safeties, your run game is going to be way more effective. So I wish I could take credit for it, man, but I think it's just young. We're a senior league group. We got 3 seniors playing in a junior, and they know what they want, man. They know what they want.
Yeah, but Tony, now some of that you got to take credit for because listen, I watched the boys play.
Yeah.
And even in the NFL, they always say if you got a great wide receiver on the right and a great one on the left, the defense is in trouble. Mm-hmm. You got receivers falling out the sky. Them boys are raw. They are raw. You guys are 3-0 because they can't nobody stop that. You go to the right, you're in trouble on the left. You go to the left, you're in trouble on the right. I mean, y'all killing it. And it making your quarterback look like the baddest thing ever.
Hey, well, one thing I will say, man, is the quarterback's pretty bad, man. Like I as much as I love being able to say that, hey, these guys weren't anything before I got here, but they were good players, man. Yeah. They were good. And we got.
So,
go ahead.
So, I'm a high school wide receiver here, right? And I want you to look at me. What do I need to do to become a better athlete in your eyes to be, recruited by you? What do these wide receivers need to do? What's a coach like you? What do you look for in a wide receiver? So these young people know what to do since they're not getting coached up right now.
I mean, I think the first thing that any wide receiver can do is catch the ball, man. Like, that's the biggest thing. We know everybody knows that 4-3 guy that was playing that couldn't catch a lick, and he couldn't. He could run by everybody and couldn't catch the ball. So, to me, the premium is always going to be on ball skills. Can you catch the over the shoulder ball? Can you catch the ball on a curl route back to the ball? Can you catch them away from the ball and speed out? Like, can you catch it in all those different angles? And then I think from there, I want to see, of course, how well do you run? Because you want to be explosive. You want to be able to have a big play. So you want guys that can run, obviously. But you want guys that can show they can sink their hips, and sometimes it's not always route running. Sometimes you can tell that little shifty guy who's making people miss. He might only run goals and posts, in high school, but you can tell by the way he moves and does certain things. He can sink his hips. He can get out of the break if he needs. I think between your hands, natural athleticism, and then just being able to start, stop, sink hips is all what you kind of try to find on film and see if you can see guys that can do that.
Hey, that he just did the outline. That's the whole outline. That's what they need. Okay, I'm gonna work on all this week. So
that's right.
Get it, put it on film, send it. I'm gonna work on that.
Well, it seems like for you guys, you don't say, "Hey, our wide receivers have to be 6'4", 200 pounds." Am I right? That doesn't matter in college compared to the pros. Am I right?
No,
well, I mean, I think it matters, but I mean, if a kid is 6'4", 200 pounds can run, he ain't coming to Coastal. He's going to Tennessee. You know, and we know that. You know, so at our level of football, we want football players. We want good athletes because I feel like Power 5 level, you get the cream of the crop that everybody knows it can play. That's you don't recruit at the Power 5 level talent. You recruit. You got to have the best relationship and get this 5-star to come to Florida State, to come to Tennessee, to come to whatever. Everybody in the country knows he can play. It's not about evaluating. It's about recruiting at that level. Recruiting them to your team. At this level, you have to do a little more evaluating, and a little more projecting, and a little bit saying like, hey, man, this kid, he's a diamond in the rough. He's not 6'4", he's 6'1", 6'2". Natural strider, can catch the ball. If I can get him to sink his hips a little better, if I can get him to do this a little better, if I can get him to put on 15 pounds, he'll be like the kid who's going there now. And he may not be that until his junior, senior year, but eventually he will,
But your guys, your receiving core, they may not be the fastest receiving core. I mean, they're definitely not the slowest, but I think what's imperative about your receiving core is their route running is perfect. I mean, their maneuvers, their techniques, their hands. I mean, to be honest, I can't tell if it's your quarterback that's great or the receivers that's great. I can never tell. Anybody that watch our games, you just can't tell. You can't figure it out. I watch the routes run. I watch these guys catch, and I say, man, that quarterback bad. And then I say, oh, wait a minute. Man, that receiver bad. I can't figure it out.
And I think
it works hand in hand.
Yeah.
I understand that. But I'm telling you, as a fan, when you're watching the game, it's funny that you can't figure out where the greatness is coming from. Because the receiving core, like you said, you can tell that they're unselfish. Because when they go over on the sideline, they hug each other, they slapping hands, they're pretty much crazy.
Yeah.
They bought in, man. They bought in.
I like that.
They bought in, man. That's
I think that's the perfect word for it, man. We're bought in. We're bought in at quarterback. Like we got a freshman quarterback who is playing, out of his mind right now. We got an unselfish receiver group that's doing well, making splash plays and moving the ball downfield. The running backs, last year the running were running all over people last year, and now they've kind of had to watch us be more successful in the pass game, and they haven't, all of a sudden got upset. They're out there pass blocking and knowing when it's my turn to run the rock, I'm gonna run it hard. So I think a good overall team right now, and we trust, the running backs trust the receivers trust the quarterback trusts the line. I think it's more execution right now. We're executing at a high level and not making a lot of mistakes on Saturdays.
Okay, now, I'm gonna switch it up. And do you watch the Jags game? Have you been watching the Jags game?
Man, I hadn't watched a lot because we come in here on Sundays and we meet, and so usually we had a 1:00 game, so I don't get a chance to see them. We usually start, meeting at about 1:00. So, but I've tried to keep up with a little bit. I see a lot of ability when the plays and the highlights that I do see, but it just seems like for whatever reason, for the past few years, even when I was playing, the talent isn't, the camaraderie isn't there for whatever reason.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
it's the camaraderie, and I don't know what it is, but even when I was,
is it coaching? You think?
I can't say.
Honestly,
I can't say it's coaching on the outside looking in, and like I just said, I hadn't watched enough game. I hadn't sat there and sat through a whole game to say it's one thing or another. I just know that watching, it's the same feel that I felt, in 2015 when we had a top 10 defense in the league, and you know, we played Denver at home, and the defense didn't allow Denver to cross the 50, and we lost 14-10 or whatever we lost by. You know, like it's like we're not coming together on Sundays. It's like defense play well, offense plays bad. Offense plays well, defense plays bad. You know, this special team might have a day. You know, it's just everybody's got to get on point, and it's like my dad, and he would say you got to peak at the right time. Like you don't want to play your best football in the first quarter of the season, but you want to be continually getting better. You know, by the time week 16, week 17 rolls around, now you're playing a high level going into the playoffs. And so,
but they look and they're doing well, but you know, it's that rookie mistakes.
Yeah,
those mistakes that I told everybody that they go have. You can't even get past it. I'm sorry, but those look like it's costing them a little bit. But man, you got to see them bounce back, man. I'm watching it all, and they got it. Can they finish? Can they finish strong?
But part of that for me, John, is I'm gonna say it, man. And you know, I like Doug Marrone, but I'm gonna tell you, man, I am a true fan. I'm a true fan of the game. I'm a true fan of the Jaguars, and I don't see if you're a fan looking at the Jaguars. First thing you saw last week is number one. Did y'all see Nick Foles? Don't even look like the same player that left Jacksonville. And so you got to start asking yourself, okay, wait a minute now. Is it the players or is it the coaching staff and how they're doing? Because Jacksonville really hasn't lost any games. Jacksonville had the opportunity to win every game they played. And yeah, it was some rookie mistakes.
Not Miami, though. Not Miami, Tony. Not Miami.
Well, Miami was just bad. But listen, the Jaguars coaching, it almost seemed like Marrone and the coordinators are not on the same page. You know, you never see Marrone question the coordinators and say, no, maybe we need to do this. I mean, it just seemed like, hey, do your thing and you do your thing, and then whatever happens, and we are. But right.
I think it's you know, being at a few different places in my career, I think it has a lot to do with consistency and being cohesive as a unit. Like, you know, when I left Jacksonville, I went to New England for a little spell and just got to see how they work and how they do. And I think it's, you know, everybody knows something to be said about when the core of your coaching staff has been together for any length of time. Like I was in Jacksonville 14, 15, 16, 17, a little bit of 17 before they drafted D.D. Westbrook, and we had a different coordinator every year. We've had 4 offensive coordinators in 4 years. Every year it's a new offense, and even though everybody's running, you know, the West Coast or whatever you want to call it, they're running this offense. It's not the same as if I had that same offensive coordinator for 4 years. Because now I know his stuff inside and out. I know he's calling on 2nd and long. I know he's calling on 3rd and short. I know he's calling on 1st and 10. I know he's calling first play of the game. I know that. Everybody knows that now we're on one accord. I know how he wants to pick up the blitz. I know how he's going to get the double team on Henderson this week and stop him from getting to the quarterback. I know that stuff. When you got a new guy every year, you don't know. And so you're always going into every game not knowing what to expect. And I think –
How did you feel deep down inside? Did it really bug you, or you just rolled with the punches and made the best of it?
I mean, at the end of the day, you playing for that check, so don't nothing bother you as long as that money coming in. But it takes confidence. Like, it's hard to have confidence in somebody, no matter how much you like them or how good they are, until you've grown a relationship with them. Like it's hard to look over and trust your teammate and trust that he's gonna do what he needs to do if you don't know him. If I played with you for 2 years and I know that you're gonna make this block, I know that you're gonna make that catch, I know that you're gonna make that throw, I have confidence even when we down. I don't know you and we get down, where's my confidence at? You know what I'm saying? What am I truly believing in? And I think that's kind of where Jacksonville is. They don't have the cohesiveness in the coaching staff and with the players. There's no history. Like, when I was there, it was Mercedes Lewis, it was us, and that was it. The rest of us were 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th year players. That was it.
Yeah.
What about you, John? Did you feel like that, or how was it when you played?
Hey, man,
I've been
I know
talking
what
to
he's
people
talking
about
about with the switching. Let me see. We went through my first year, then he that D-line coach was gone. Then Ray, I think it was when Ray came in. I don't know, man. For me, I'd be like, coaches call the play. And once they call the play, I'm done with them.
Yeah.
Now it's me and the other 11, my other 10 guys. We gotta execute. I don't care if that play don't even match their offense. All I know is when the ball is snapped, I need to get to that ball. I didn't really care what we call. I'm trying to get to the ball.
Yeah.
And that's just the different mentality that I had, because I didn't have to do all that reading and stuff that they did. I was. You see the difference? He a wide receiver, I'm a defense. I ain't have to do all that.
But
He gotta see all of it.
Yeah, but you knew if it was a twist, you had to trust that either you was gonna get the pick or the guy outside you was gonna get the pick. If you didn't know if he was gonna get the pick,
hey, I was the picker. I knew that regard. I was the picker every time.
Yeah.
I knew he was gonna say that.
I'm fine. Guess what? I'm fine too. That pick got me 3 sacks on Donovan McNabb. Man, I'm holding. He came out. Come on, give me here. I said, "Come here, baby."
Yes,
He came off of me. So I was. Hey, man. I was the guinea pig. I'm serious.
Yeah.
We played Peyton now. Everybody look at Big Hen. I guess y'all want me to fall down. Yeah. Y'all never notice, huh? When Peyton, when y'all watch the game, see Peyton get on there, that no huddle, watch you go down. It's me every time. It was me. Peyton found out. He was like, they faking. He tried to huddle up. No, man. He had to stop. It's just, I try to just go with it, man. Even all the coaches switching, man, you still gotta find a way.
Yeah.
Like we telling these high school kids they gotta find a way to do it. We have to find a way to it ain't easy. You heard Albert Hainsworth last week when he said that he had to go all the way. He got to go to a 3-4. They wanted him to hold people and do this. Albert Hainsworth was getting off the ball at Tennessee, making it happen. But they wanted him to change his whole, and that ain't easy. It's not easy, man.
Well, I mean, for the Jaguars, let's face it. You're right. We go through coaching staff. I mean, hell, I don't even know who's the longest working person in the Jaguars. I don't even know anymore.
That's a good question right there.
But here's the deal. I think that, number one, they got to stop listening to the media. And I know it's hard, but they got to stop listening to the media, and they got to do what they think is right for the team and stop making dumb decisions. Look, I think Minshew's the guy. People can talk about this kid coming out of college next year, but how many quarterbacks in the last 12 years we saw come out and supposed to be number one and end up being a bust? And then the quarterback that you gave up is the guy that went somewhere else and became a superstar. So I think they got to stick with Minshew, number one. And you're not paying a lot of money, so it's an easy decision. You got a great running back who came out of nowhere. He doing it for you. And so now you just got to build the team up and get these guys some confidence, because I'm telling you, some of these guys are not playing with confidence. And like you said, John, some of them are making rookie mistakes. But, man, I don't know. I watch these other coaches. It's kind of like quarterbacks. If we all sit down and we watch quarterbacks, I can almost tell you verbatim. If you go watch Tom Brady, when he gets off the field, he go talk to the defense, the offense, the water boy. He talk to everybody because he's trying to win. And then, Peyton Manning was the same way. Peyton Manning would walk up and down the whole line talking to people. And nobody ever knew what he was talking about. But then you had quarterbacks that went and sat by themselves. And when you see the quarterback that sit by themselves, they're normally the ones that was losing. And so you didn't have that cohesiveness. And so now I look at Minshew, and I see more and more Minshew's talking to the defense, trying to get some advice, talking to the running backs. He's talking to everybody. And so I see everybody talking but Marone. And I'm going to need him to get involved with the conversation because I'm tired of losing. And if I have to go to pay, if I have to take swag to Ruth Chris, it's gonna be some problems right in Jacksonville.
What do you mean you are? We're 1-3. You are taking me, and you're spending about $500 on me.
I ain't gave up yet. We got a whole lot of football to go.
A lot of football.
Hey, you know what? You're gonna pay $500, and you're gonna fly Tony down to Jacksonville with me. You're taking both of us. We're gonna spend $1,000 on you. That's what we're doing.
Listen, we got a whole lot of football to go. Tony, that's one thing that we always say that's different from college. In the pros, you can lose 4 games and still say we got a chance.
Yeah. And that what happened to the Giants the year they won the Super Bowl?
Yes, sir.
Where they go? You can be.
They were like 1-4, 1-5 or something.
Listen, especially with the new playoff rules, we got a shot.
Tony, stop gaslighting him. Come on now. You're gaslighting Tony. You're giving him hope. He's paying up.
One thing in this coaching biz you learn, man, you always gotta be positive, man.
Yeah.
Can't show weakness, man. Can't show weakness, man.
You cannot show that. Hey, that's how I was playing. That's why I said 1-3. Okay. Don't think it turn around and have 6 straight games.
Now, John, it did piss me off that Nick Foles sitting over there throwing balls like crazy last Sunday.
Okay. Let's get. Why is it pissing you off though?
Listen,
no, I want to know. You got to realize.
I'm gonna tell you why.
This man got in the game and threw a touchdown, and got hurt. Okay, then first of all, he shouldn't have came back. He should have waited the whole year, just sat out and let Minshew do his thing, and they compete in training camp. You ain't giving him an opportunity. That is not an opportunity. He had to come back through all that. That wasn't an opportunity. And you thought he wasn't go. You thought he wasn't gonna go somewhere and show out. Come on, man.
That joker looked good the other night, but I was mad.
Man, you already know.
Hey, so Tony, here's a question. So last week, DJ Shark came out talking about how the fans are against the Jags and blah, blah, blah. What was it like for you guys with the media coming in? Did you have a lot of distractions? Were they always coming up to you, seeing on Facebook saying, Tony Washington, the offense sucks? Like, does that stuff really affect you as a player, or do you turn it out? I would ask John this, but, he's so old. They didn't have social media back then. So this question would be for you.
You know what we had? Man, we had the club. I'm in the club with my Grey Goose. Yeah. Talking about Duval. Yeah, we about to get this thing started. I know we 1-3, baby, but we gonna get it going, baby. Man, I promise you, I did that. Because we didn't have it. Yeah, I'm saying. I'm telling you. Hey.
Yeah, but the press would hide stuff for you guys. Nowadays, they're trying to find stuff on you guys to put it out there. Am I right?
Yeah, I think if you let it, it can definitely get to you. Because, I mean, social media, like, while we talk about recruiting, it's direct access. Like, it ain't like nobody talking crap about you in the living room. They get on Twitter. You see what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? You see everything they're saying. So I think I don't think it's like too much or nothing anybody else had been through. Because, like, you know how it is when you start losing as a team who's historically a losing team right now. They jump on and say, "Oh, this another year we losing," and they don't gotta say nothing. You can tell by the fans. Game 1 at Jacksonville is the best game of the season. Week 1 is lit. The pools is full. The top deck is full. Everything's good. Week 5 that we going into now, they're gonna have the tarp over the top thing. They're gonna have the kids up there at the very top.
Oh, you go, man.
Hey, so you noticed that though. You noticed the pools and all the hot chicks and the white. So even on the field, you guys are still looking like, oh man, look at this, right?
I mean, you come out and warm ups, or you come out right there before the thing, and you take your little look around, and you can tell where you at just looking at the fans, what they feel about you. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's a deal where you got to overcome that. And I think this year is a great year to overcome that because there's no fans out there anyway. Like,
yep. And I think sometimes, DJ Shark, one thing he's got to learn, and I know it's hard for these guys to learn this early on, and that's why it helps to have veteran players around you.
Yeah.
You can't – you're going to take it home with you anyway.
Yeah.
But don't get on TV and say it, and don't get on social media and say it, because you still got to play for this team next week.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that like anybody told me is, so what? Like, if you want people to stop talking about you, win.
Hey.
That's
There
right.
it is.
Like at the end of
There it is. Say it.
like at the end of the day,
Man.
like that's what Jacksonville I feel has to realize. Like fans are fans. They come out there and they want to see their team win, and when they don't, they get upset. Like that's part of it. Everybody knows that. So if you want to turn that city around, you got to win, and it can't be 2017 going to the AFC Championship one time. It's got to be, we got to keep going, man. And I think that's what Jackson, the players and everybody's realized. Like, if you go 2 or 3 years and making a deal, you'll have the support of people. But if you continue to lose, you're gonna get what you have gotten in the past. I think, for better or worse, I sat in a ton of those games, man, and played in a ton of those games where first quarter you give up 2 touchdowns and you hear them booze for the next 3 quarters. And it just is what it is.
Oh, squad.
And that's terrible.
I know what you mean by that.
So what are you doing now for your team being 3-0? Like, how are you not trying to get their heads, real not big because they're on 3-0, about to be top of the conference? Like, what are you telling the guys not to be so big headed? Like, hey, you gotta play.
Hey, wait a
every game.
minute. And before you answer that, I want to add to that question.
Oh.
On top of the fact that you got a bunch of seniors coming out.
You got off?
I think I don't think it's nothing that we're doing crazy. It's just letting them know we hadn't done anything yet. Like it's a lot of football left. We played, we got 11 this year. 3-0 don't mean nothing. I mean, we beat Kansas, all right, non-conference game. We beat Campbell, non-conference game, FCS opponent. All right, we beat Arch State. Arch State means something. That's a conference game. That's a chance to get closer to a ring, go to a conference championship. And then Louisiana, a team that has made it to the conference championship last year, they're a team to beat. And until we beat these teams, we're gonna always be Coastal Carolina team is not as good as so-and-so. And so I think the kids still have a chip on their shoulder and know that, like, man, it's more to prove. And so that's the biggest thing. And I think now being on national TV, we're going to be on ESPN again on Wednesday. It'll be our 3rd national TV game.
That's right.
What time is it for the fans so they can tune in to the game on Wednesday?
It might be 8 o'clock, maybe. I think.
Okay.
I think it's
Prime. So that's a prime time game, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So we'll be the only show on Wednesday night, man. And so it'll be a big game. But I think
Monday night.
I think the kids they want to be great, man. They want to win. They want to be the first team in school history to make it to a bowl game. They want to be, the first team in school history to make it to a conference championship. And they know, like, now we have a chance to change the way this team is viewed. We got the surf turf, we got the beach, we got good football. If we can have a great year this year and show the world we can do, I mean, it's gonna help recruit. It's gonna help.
You got John Henderson coming next year to do a defensive line camp on his mobile coaching coming. Might bring a couple former players with us as well on the mobile coaching bus.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I think they're excited. They believe in themselves. They definitely have a lot of confidence right now. But I think it's constantly reminding them the work's not done. Hay's not in the barn yet, man.
Man, I tell you what, it's great. I say this. It is great seeing you guys 3-0. It's greater seeing the receiving talent that you have. It's great seeing you on that sideline, knowing that you creating this, and it's gonna be even greater in these 2 or 3 years when you're a head coach and we all headed to wherever you at.
Actually, he actually did a good job. I think that was here.
Hey, Tone.
I think that was when he was here.
Man, we really appreciate you, man. I know we're about to get ready to get up out of here. But, man, I really appreciate you, man. Man, good luck, man. Y'all just keep grinding. Get them boys.
Grinding.
Just keep grinding, man. Because y'all go do it, man.
And we're going to all watch,
all
too.
they got to do is believe. All they got to do is believe.
Oh, yes, sir, man. We're gonna keep battling. We're going to keep playing this long season. We'll be fine. My receivers, they call themselves touchdown mafia. So I definitely.
Oh, I like that.
Man. So
I like it.
you'll see
listen,
TV.
before your receivers get all big and famous and all that, I just want my hat, a little signature on it. Because how many receivers you lose this senior year?
We'll lose 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Ain't bad too.
Oh wow! So you're basically gonna be starting over next year.
Yeah, I bring in at least probably 2 or 3 freshmen and have a guy who's sophomores and freshmen. So it'll take our bumps and bruises next year, but hopefully we can try that stuff out in training camp and in spring ball and by the time the fall rolls around, we ready to roll, man, and keep this thing going.
Man, you the man.
Yeah. Hey, man, we want to give a special shout out to breast cancer awareness, man. That's what's going on this October. This is all October. So we just want to, you know, hey, I know I had my Chloe's mom, and, you know, I lost 3 people to breast cancer. So I know I seen people make it, and I seen people don't. So, you know, just prayers out to those that lost, and prayers out to the ones that made it, man. God is good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
Shout out to Ola Allen. She made it through it. And if you know somebody that made it through it, send us their name so we can announce that on the show, because you know that's great. And we support all the way. We are doing our JFL cancer awareness mask that we'll have on our website. And you know, God bless everybody that's battling cancer.
Yeah. God bless.
And make sure you turn in on Wednesday and watch Tony Washington and his crew go 4-0 at 8 p.m. on ESPN, baby.
I'm watching, baby.
I'm watching too.
Appreciate it.
So y'all know what this is. This is JFL Live, man, and we thank y'all for tuning in. Big Hen, he's out.
That's it.
JFL is out of here, baby.
That's it, John. You can't go harder than that.
Man, I'm hungry, man.
Me too.
hungry?
I'm hungry too.
I'm so hungry right now.
I mean, Tony worked today. You just chilling at the house all day next to your Christmas tree.
I'm watching.
Listen, Tony the only one working today.
I'm watching
Right.
the kids, man. I'm watching the kids. Like, I'm trying to hear them. You know what I mean?
Oh, Tennessee winning.